I think meditation is becoming increasingly broad term. People say they meditate when they're swimming, when they're exercising, when they're playing with their kids, when they're watering the garden, I guess when they're walking through nature. People say, that's my meditation. And even one of my friends is a very celebrated Australian artist. He said, Gaz, I don't need to learn to meditate. Painting is my meditation. Sure enough, he learned Vedic meditation, and he's like, actually, I realised painting's not meditation at all. And I think what people are saying when they're meditating is they zone out. They sort of touch a different space within themselves, like all their worries and the things that their mind swims in most of the time, they get distance from, and they get into a different sort of zone. With a practice like Vedic meditation, you're utilising a mantra which is a medium which takes your nervous system into a deep meditative state. So it changes the way the brain's functioning, it changes the way the heart's beating, it changes the way your immune system's responding, it's sending all these bliss hormones through your system, and it's luring your body into a hypometabolic state. So it's slowing the whole engine down. And although like watering your garden might be relaxing, or swimming in a pool might be relaxing, at some levels it's not. You're also in a state of arousal when you're running and doing those things. So the brainwave patterns of someone who's doing certain things which are relaxing isn't necessarily producing the same brainwave pattern that's being produced when you're in Vedic meditation, for example. So I think what we could say Vedic meditation is it's a practice which helps someone transcend and go into a very, very deep physiological state of rest. And it's coordinating a particular state within the mind where there's more space, but there's deep inner calm. And it doesn't mean the cessation of life as you know it and the cessation of all mental activity, but it means you're accessing a very kind of deep inner center. And the idea behind meditation isn't something that should be done periodically. It needs to be something that's done regularly. And when you look at our culture, we've become quite masterful when it comes to looking after the physical body in some ways. Whether people do or don't, we have the knowledge. We understand nutrition and the value of herbs and supplements and the value of exercise. Like if you go back maybe 50 years ago and you were, in your house and you saw someone running past, you think, are they being chased by a dog, or, is there a fire somewhere? No, they were just exercising. But now we understand that people volunteer to run because it's good for the body. But in our culture, we don't really do anything to nourish our minds as much as we nourish our bodies. We'll go to bed on time, we'll eat good food, but literally we've seemed to have been forgotten that the mind needs nourishment. It needs to be cherished and developed, and it needs care. And I think the best our culture has to offer is a glass of wine after work, or sitting down and, feasting on Netflix or something, just as a way to unplug and tap out of your everyday worries. In the same way, we understand the value of oral hygiene. Everyone's brushing their teeth twice a day, and even their physical hygiene, showering each day. Our mind's kind of left out of that equation. And you have to just only think that every day your mind is bombarded by stimuli, information, and plagued by just an internal process. We have about 60 to 80,000 thoughts every day, 90% of which are the same thoughts that we had on the previous day. So we basically live in these very fixed mental structures, and we never really get respite or able to transcend and get out beyond our common level of mind. So meditation is very much a way in which you can systematically awaken and expand the conscious capacity of the mind, but also bring in richer potential. Like Einstein said, all the problems that we have, you can't solve them if you're staying at the same level of mind you had when you created the problems in the first place. So there's that idea that transcendence is a very valuable act of just going beyond time, space, who you are, what's going on for you, just getting into this altered internal mode, just kind of letting go of life as you know it. And that, for me, is what the essence of what meditation is. Transcending, going beyond your form into the formlessness. So if all those other things are doing that, then I'd say they are worthy of the title meditation. If not, it's kind of, I just have a different definition.